It's all doom and gloom from Tennessee fans after the Vols lost at Georgia 31-17 over the weekend, but I'm here to tell you why Tennessee is still very much in the thick of things when it comes to the 12-team college football playoff race. Hey, it's Lucas Panzica from 104.5 The Zone and A to Z Sports. Tennessee held a 10-0 lead early in Athens, but were shut out in the second half. That dangerous front seven that's been so good all year couldn't get any pressure on Georgia quarterback Carson Beck. He had the best game of his season in a bounce-back performance, and Georgia pushed past Tennessee with a 14-point victory in Athens. It's the second loss of the year for the Vols, and yes, Tennessee no longer controls its own destiny to get into the college football playoff. But there is one big reason why Tennessee is still very much in the mix, and it comes with three letters, the SEC. And that is, the SEC is the conference with the most take-your-ball-and-go-home capability in all of college football. We have to remember this current playoff format is going to expire after 2 years. The long-term future of the college football playoff is not set in stone. That means the SEC and the Big Ten hold a lot of power, but especially the SEC with Greg Sankey at the helm and unquestionably the best conference top to bottom in terms of talent level and quality wins in the country. So if you look at the SEC playoff picture as it stands, Texas obviously is at the top with just one loss. Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Tennessee all have 2 losses, and you throw in Texas A&M, another 2-loss team as well. When it comes to Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, you could rank those 4 in any variation. There'd be a great argument for, there'd be a great argument against. The point is, at the end of the day, the SEC is going to campaign to have 5 or more teams in the college football playoff, and they won't necessarily be wrong. The Big 12, after BYU's loss over the weekend, seems like it is guaranteed to be a one-bid league. Same goes for the ACC. So you have 2 teams in that scenario, plus Notre Dame and the highest-ranked group of 5 champion. That leaves 8 spots. Now, will it be 4 from the Big 10 and 4 from the SEC, or is it more likely to be 3 from the Big 10 and 5 from the SEC? Of course, we have to factor in whatever happens with Indiana going to Ohio State, and Tennessee fans are going to want Ohio State to blow out the Hoosiers and just remove them from the mind of the committee as one of the best 12 teams in the country. There's no question Tennessee could use some help here, but the point is the Vols will have the backing of the most powerful conference in all of college football and the most powerful conference commissioner in all of college football in Greg Sankey. Make no mistake, the committee is going to feel the pressure of the Southeastern Conference to make sure they get enough quality teams from the SEC into the 12-team playoff because the SEC holds the cards here, not just for the college football playoff, but for the future of the sport as a whole. And Tennessee, like I said, could need some help within the conference itself. For example, Texas and Texas A&M play in the last game of the regular season. Tennessee fans should absolutely want Texas to beat A&M, hand the Aggies their 3rd loss, so you don't have yet another 2-loss team on top of that pile when it's all said and done. If, at the end of the day, there are 5 SEC teams with 2 losses or better, I think there is a strong case to be made that all 5 will get into the college football playoff. Nobody should be surprised if that is what happens. There could be some results along the way for Tennessee to get some help, but the Vols have the resume this season. They've got the marquee win against Alabama. I think they showed on Saturday they're a little bit closer to Georgia in 2024 than they were back in 2022. Even though they lost by the same margin, Tennessee was more competitive in a game that was tied up at 17 at halftime. So Vols fans, don't fret. Don't let that battered Vols syndrome take you down just yet. There is still a lot of time and a lot of reason to believe that there will be multiple SEC teams in the 12-team playoff and that Tennessee will be one of them as long as the Vols take care of business the rest of the regular season.